everyone, and I'm very happy to be opening the first one of the Lightning talks. As you can see on the screen, I'm going to talk about Webpack and one of its best features, I think, which is code splitting. And it was meant for Phoenix, but because I have only 5 minutes, I had to cut some of the Phoenix examples. Sorry about that. So I'm going to tweet some more detailed examples, which are going to be much more helpful to you, I think. So this is going to be more like a quick startup. My name is Svilen. I'm the co-founder and CTO of a company called Heresy. We're using Elixir and Phoenix internally, and we're looking for engineers, so come and work for us. That was the end of the shameless job advert right there. When I thought about this talk and about talking about Webpack and Phoenix, this particular tweet came to my mind. And I thought it's kind of sad and funny at the same time. As you know, brunch is the default choice for Phoenix. How many of you are happy brunch users for Phoenix? 1, 2, 3. You there as well? And there are also quite a lot of Webpack users, mostly front-end engineers who are just doing front-end or coming from other frameworks and stuff. Quite a lot of them around who are not quite happy with brunch, and they're a little bit disappointed when they're coming to Phoenix and discovering that brunch is the default one, which was done by the generator. So there's kind of an ongoing discussion why brunch is the default choice. In my opinion, there's nothing wrong about that. You can easily swap between brunch and another build tool. Could be Webpack, could be Rollup.js, or something else. You can create your own if you're brave enough with gulp and grunt and all that stuff. And there are a lot of people who are using successfully Phoenix and Webpack, and really none is better than the other. In the defense of the Phoenix team, I completely understand why brunch is the default choice. It's really easy to use. With just a couple of lines of code, you can quickly get up and running. If you don't have a large front-end application, it's just very easy to set up, and you don't need to read through hundreds of lines of configuration code. Webpack, on the other side, it kind of appeals to applications to users who have to deal with more front-end heavy applications, usually single-page apps. And it really enables you to fine-grain the whole module bundling process. So all these configuration options and this ability to really tweak the final bundle obviously comes with a price, which means a lot of things to configure, lots of documentation to read, and so on. As I said, none is better than the other, and really depends on your particular use case. Code splitting is, again, in my opinion, one of the, if not the best feature of Webpack, and that's what really sets Webpack apart from all the other bundling tools. The majority of the web applications just send one big blob of JavaScript to the client, which I guess it might be OK for some users, but the reality is that we all have sometimes connectivity issues. A lot of people are mobile users, and downloading a bunch of megabytes on a poor connection or a poor mobile connection is really not that great and can result in a very bad and poor user experience. This is an example of an application which is fairly small. It just has 280 kilobytes of JavaScript, and in reality, it can quickly jump up to a few megabytes of JavaScript. Instagram is famous for having around 15 megabytes before they started using Webpack and started using code splitting to reduce the final bundles. All good. So let's jump right into the code. The particular plugin, Webpack comes with a variety of plugins. The particular plugin which is providing the code splitting functionality is called the Common Chunks plugin. And again, just like anything with Webpack, there are multiple ways that you can configure every single plugin. And this is kind of the configuration that worked for me. You can read in the docs about the parameters and options that you can pass. But async true essentially means that you are telling Webpack to asynchronously load all the dependencies that you need to get to run a particular part of the code. In this very silly example, I have two routes. One is dashboard and one is account. And required.ensure is the syntax that Webpack gives you to request, kind of in a dependency injection style, to request certain modules to be available in that part of the code. And what Webpack is doing is that it's going to statically analyze your dependency tree, it's going to find these require ensure statements, and it's going to create the bundles for you. So all that is done automatically for you. And when you reload Webpack, you're going to end up with not just one, but a couple of chunks, app.js being the entry one, and the other one will be just magically created by Webpack. So the next time when you visit the application, you're just going to get an entry file, and the rest of the files, they will be asynchronously loaded on demand over the network just when you need them. So you've just managed to greatly reduce the whole application window, and just made your application just feels much snappier and quicker. And you also saved some bandwidth as well. What's even more is that, as you know, there is this thing with Phoenix. There's a long discussion on GitHub about it. It adds $VSN equals D to all the static assets that Phoenix is actually serving, which prevents caching, which is not really great, especially when you have large bundles of front-end assets. When you asynchronously load all your front-end code separately, because it's loaded over the network separately, it actually doesn't have the query parameter at the end. So all these code-splitted chunks of JavaScript, they're actually properly cached. So the next time, if you look at the lower screenshot, the next time when you open the application, it's 3 or 4. It's already cached, and the application loads super quickly. As I mentioned, I'm going to post more detailed examples, which are more specific to Phoenix and a proper Webpack configuration file, which you can look at how to just copy-paste some files, tweak it, and you'll be able to get everything up and running very quickly. Thank you very much.